was. John Henry Newman is truly an inspiration today to Catholic colleges. I was thinking, especially, he was talking about the importance of teachers and their influence. And in view of our season, I thought I'd cite this. An academic system without the influence of teachers is an Arctic winter. It will create an icebound, petrified, cast-iron university and nothing else. That view of the importance of faculty so resonates with what we know here at Emmanuel. And I was thinking, it was just 2 weeks ago, wasn't it, Caroline, when student government, I had dinner at my home with the members of student government, and I always ask them what's key to their education. I do this with every generation, not just you. Every class gets this, right, Mike? I asked you all the same questions. What's key about your education here? All right, so after they say strong sense of community, what I heard overwhelmingly, relationship. It's about relationships with faculty, relationships with each other, about relationships with the staff, and how we look after each other. So I was struck that way back in the 1850s, this unusual person, John Henry Newman, now beatified, was talking about that. This was the decadum in the 90s, when we spoke intentionally of our founders and their vision. Here at Emmanuel, we inaugurated Founders Day and now Founders Week. This is our 19th, by the way, to tell the story of the founding of the college and that of the Sisters of Notre Dame. The mission of the Sisters of Notre Dame, making known God's goodness, educating for life. And we initiated programs in Mission and Catholic Identity. For us, we established in 2006 the Center for Mission and Spirituality, which Sister Mary Johnson directs, which is built on 4 pillars: the Catholic intellectual tradition, the charism of the Sisters of Notre Dame, the social and the moral teachings of the Church. Now, we're focusing on Catholic colleges, so I don't have much time to do this. You'll see how fast I do this, though. Julie Billiard, 1751 to 1816 in France. She believed she was called to form a religious congregation who were called to go all over the world, so she wouldn't listen to the bishop and stay in one place in Amiens. She moved to Belgium, and very soon after that, in 1840, came to the United States. She didn't, but the sisters did. She vowed in 1804 to God to devote, the sisters did, to the education of youth. They had a passion for education. They opened boarding schools and always, always, always free schools for the poor. She herself made 120 journeys in 12 years to open a number of houses, and she was doing this while Napoleon was marching his troops across Belgium, and she traveled on foot by stagecoach. Her most important, and really her central focus, is how good is the good God? She believed strongly that education is the greatest work on earth. She expected her sisters not only to be good teachers, but she expected them to be contemplatives in action, to see God in all things. Today, there are 1,800 Sisters of Notre Dame in 5 continents continuing the mission, and I'm glad that Sister Isabel is here from Congo because she exemplifies the other parts of the world where the Sisters of Notre Dame are besides the United States. The mission of this college belongs to all, the students, the faculty, the administrators, and most especially to our graduates and our students. This is your mission at Emmanuel College. By the end of the 1990s, Catholic colleges were citing shared essential aspects with different nuance and expression, but comprising the following characteristics and key elements. What are kind of the sine qua nons in Catholic colleges and universities that you share, different wording maybe, with the other 219 Catholic colleges today? The dialogue between faith and reason is central. Theology and philosophy have a central place in the curriculum. There's a strong sense of community. Our students say that to me every time we've talked in decades, even before this. There's a strong commitment to justice and peace, giving generously of yourself in service to others. There's a strong campus ministry program, and I just want to do a call out here because this semester, without a full-time or any-time priest on campus, our campus ministry team has just done a superb job of keeping a vibrant program here and working with the Archdiocese, who's been sending priests really from headquarters, from Chancery, to help us. So the search is on, but I'm very appreciative It wasn't just stepping up like we do in other offices. This was a priest, and this is campus ministry. It's been a real challenge, and I appreciate the work of our campus ministry team. Thank you. Public affirmation and celebration of legacy, which we do today and at other times. Now, we share this vision of Catholic College and University with the other 200 colleges, and I want to talk to you very briefly about other opportunities that we have, and I don't think that I and others have been making as much of this available as we can. And I'm talking about what's ahead. Here are a few examples of how we're working together. For faculty, there is a new peer-reviewed journal of Catholic higher education. This is what it looks like. It's only the last couple of years. And the journal is the peer-reviewed semi-annual journal. It is the only international journal dedicated solely to the distribution of scholarly work and commentary with a focus on contemporary Catholic higher education in the United States and around the world. So I'm saying this particularly for faculty, and we want to let you know more about that, particularly faculty that are engaged in how we're working to integrate philosophy, theology, and the Catholic mission into our classes. Secondly, there's a lot of work going on among groups of colleges to revise the undergraduate core curriculum to incorporate the Catholic intellectual tradition. Also, if faculty are interested, there is a program called Collegium, and that's really exclusively for faculty to work. It's a summer program. It's run out of Holy Cross. There are 65 colleges associated with it. And if we can't get into this summer's because it's already too late, but if there seems to be enough interest, I would be happy to have us become number 66 member of that group. So you really meet with faculty from other parts of the college, addressing and learning and sharing your own experience. There are programs in social justice across the country. One, I think, in March is at Notre Dame. And the programs for students and the possible collaboration there, I think, is amazing. Remember, there are alternative spring breaks going on at every one of those 200-plus colleges. So while we're on spring break, where are we going this year again, Deirdre? Okay, so while we're doing that, so are lots of other colleges, and there could be some overlap and some synergy there too. Immersion in third world areas, which we do some programs on and have, but other colleges are doing others. Opportunities for study abroad. And then, if faculty and students are interested, I've spoken with the presidents of the other two Notre Dame colleges in California and in Washington about possible resurgence of whether students are interested in taking semesters or summers at the other institutions, but only if faculty and students here are interested in doing that. All right, now my closing remarks so we can listen to our finalists. When Pope Benedict met with the Catholic College presidents in April of 2008 at the Catholic University, he noted that Catholic colleges and universities are places to encounter the living God who in Jesus reveals his transforming love and truth. In this relationship, we are drawn by the very power of the gospel to live a new life characterized by all that is beautiful, good, and true. And the good news is that these are some of the values, this is one of the values that Catholic colleges and universities are trying to find ways to make real across the country. And now the important, all right, you have a chance to ask, where's Jonathan? Are there questions after everybody speaks? After everybody speaks. Okay. All right. So thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call down our panel of respondents. Starting from the far left, we have Dr. Tom Wall, Chair of the Philosophy Department, Father Tom LeClaire, Chair of the Theology and Religious Studies Department, Christine Corcolis, a Senior Religious Studies major, and Walter Stepanako, a Senior Philosophy major. And moderating is Sister Mary Johnson, a Chair of the Sociology Department and Director of the Center of Mission and Spirituality.
Thank you, John. we decided to focus the work of the panel today on one topic contained in Sister Janet's address, and that is the reinstitution of the philosophy major and the theology and religious study major at Emmanuel. So at this significant moment in the college's life, I've asked the chairs of both departments to speak about the significance of this new initiative and this old initiative in many ways, and I've asked 2 student majors from those departments to speak as well. So I'd like to begin with the students, because if I don't, they won't be able to get a word in edgewise, because Father Leclerc and Professor Wall are champing at the bit to describe the work that has led to this new moment in the life of the college and the life of the curriculum in particular. So I'd like to begin with Christine, who is a senior and who crafted an individualized major in religious studies, and then we'll move to Walter, who's a senior philosophy major, chose a similar path, crafting an individualized major in philosophy. So Christine, what brought you to the study of religious studies at Emmanuel?
Well, I'm very interested in, or very involved in youth ministries in my own metropolis, which is the Greek metropolis of Boston. And I found as preaching to these young children that I had a great interest in religion itself. And when I came to Emmanuel, we're required to do two requirements. So I did my first, and I found that academically I took to it as well. So I took it on as a minor, and I started off as a biology major. And so I continued with my minor and eventually came to the decision that I wanted to major in it. And so I took that on and explored professional possibilities. And as intimidating as it was with the IM process, I went forward, and I'm happy with it right now. So.
Great, very good. Walter, what brought you to philosophy?
I've told this story to a couple people on this campus, and I said that when I was a young child, my mother taught me about her belief system. She taught me about God, and I had I had questions, and my mother, in all of her intelligence, but also her imprudence, told me to wait to get to heaven and ask. So I always tell people that I'm impatient and I did not want to wait to get to heaven, and so I became a philosopher.
Sounds like you should have come to religious studies.
He found heaven in the philosophy.
Now, Christine, you are Greek Orthodox,
Yes.
is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're talking about the Catholic identity of the college and the Catholic nature of the college. How has that identity and that nature allowed you as a young Greek Orthodox woman to find your place in religious studies?
Well, as far as Orthodox and Catholicism, I feel they're very similar. And even studying Catholic studies, I've found it has enhanced my own spiritual life. Just getting a better understanding of theology and the history, church history. So I found that studying it in a Catholic, and I believe I want to go to graduate school and study Catholic studies specifically. So it's actually enhanced my own understanding of my own denominations.
And Walter, what would you like to do in terms of your career goals?
I as well would like to continue my career in philosophy and go and do graduate work. But I particularly am interested in the philosophy of science and the way what we can know about reality based on scientific fact. And I always say that to practice philosophy is to know the heavens as they are.